Welcome back to Beginning Band COVID Companion, Distance Learning for Band. This is video 3 of a 4-part series. We already learned how to assemble and disassemble our instrument. Then we learned how to maintain the mechanics of our instrument and disinfect it. Now we will learn how to make beautiful sounds on just our mouthpiece. Lastly, we will perform our first notes. Your sits bones, spine, and neck are all stacked so as to not inhibit breathing. Your arms will be gently lifted away from your body. Your shoulders should be down and relaxed. This is especially important for the clarinet. Your hands should be in a relaxed C formation. In order to feel what this is like, without an instrument in your hands, just let your hands relax at your sides. Shake out any tension that you have in your shoulders. And when you hold your hands up after that, they should be maintained in a relaxed C shape. You will take your left hand C shape and put it on the upper joint of the clarinet, even if you're right-handed. Your index finger will need to be able to cover the tone hole and touch the A key without pressing it. You should be able to rock or pivot between these two places with your left index finger with ease. Your left pinky rests on the left hand pinky keys, but they won't need to press them until they're asked for. In terms of your right hand, you'll take your relaxed C shape and put it on the lower joint. Your index finger should touch, but not press, the E-flat side key at an approximate 45-degree angle. Your right pinky will rest on the right hand pinky keys, but they won't press until they're needed. Your elbows should hang freely and loosely away from your body. They won't be tense, but they also won't be collapsed. The relaxed C shape that your hands have when you play the clarinet will set you up for success in terms of covering the tone holes. The picture in the center has an exaggerated C shape, where his fingernails are actually entering the tone holes. This will not provide a proper seal, and his instrument will squeak a lot. The picture on the right is the opposite. His relaxed C shape has collapsed and flattened, meaning that he's actually covering the tone holes with his knuckles instead. This also will not properly seal the tone holes, and his instrument will squeak a lot. If you look carefully at the picture on the left, you will see that he is clogging the tone holes with the pudgy part of his fingers. Your first 3 fingers on your left hand will cover the tone holes with the plumpest part of your finger, not the fingertips or knuckles. These are called fingers number 1, number 2, and number 3, where your index finger is 1, your middle finger is 2, and your ring finger is 3. The first 3 fingers of your right hand, however, will cover the tone holes with the plumpest part of your finger, not the fingertips or knuckles. Those are called fingers 4, 5, and 6, where your index finger is 4, your middle finger is 5, and your ring finger is 6. Your left thumb will be angled at 1 o'clock, also known as 30 degrees, so that it can cover the tone hole and press the register key if necessary. For now, and for the majority of your first notes, the left thumb will touch but not press the long vertical register key. The majority of the weight of the instrument will go into your right thumb. If this hurts, you can add a pencil grip to the thumb rest until you can purchase a proper thumb pad. Be sure that you don't grip with any tension. Your hand should be relaxed when you play, Otherwise, it will hurt. Your first finger at the top of the upper joint should be positioned so that the simple turning of your wrist can transition the index finger from being on the first tone hole to the A key with minimal effort. One should not have to pick up the finger and place it again. It should just roll from one target to the next. If you look at the pictures, his left index finger can just roll from the tone hole to that upper key called the A key. When you're not pressing a finger down, the finger needs to be pulled away from the instrument. It's tempting to pull your fingers too far away from the instrument, but it is unwise to do so. Simply lift your finger high enough for the note to change, and that will be sufficient. Logically, it's easier to accurately hit a closer target than a further target, so don't lift your fingers too far away. If you look at the picture on the right, he's not using his right hand at all, and so he's taken his fingers and put them as far away from the instrument as possible. This will make it a lot harder for him. However, the picture on the left, you can hardly tell that the fingers are lifted at all. He's lifted them the minimal amount so that the note will change. The clarinet should form a 35-degree angle away from your body. Too small of an angle will result in a dead, flat tone. Too great of an angle will result in a shrill, squeaky tone. In order to form the embouchure of your clarinet, say the syllables E and U. This will stretch your chin downward to be flat and pointy. This is extremely important with every note that you play. Keeping your chin pointy will allow for the correct contact between the lower lip and the reed. Do not play the clarinet with puckered lips. Your lower lip should be slightly rolled over your bottom teeth. And remember, you want your chin to be stretched down and flat. Place your top teeth on the top of the mouthpiece. Close your jaw so that there is very gentle pressure from your stretched bottom lip onto the reed. Do not bite down onto the reed with excessive jaw pressure. You will create a seal around the mouthpiece like a drawstring bag by sealing your lips around the mouthpiece completely. You don't want any air leaking out of your lips. Your lips should be snug around your mouthpiece, and your tongue should be high in your mouth as though you are about to hiss. Go ahead and try to hiss like a cat right now so that you can feel the sensation of your tongue lifting as you make the hiss sound. Take a full breath for every note that you play. There are some variables behind your embouchure that will impact your tone as well. The space between your teeth should be about a thumb's width apart, but be careful when you check that. You want to have clean hands before you put them in your mouth. Rest your tongue against your bottom teeth until you need to use your tongue. But the arch of your tongue should be high as though you're hissing. Everything behind your tongue is open and relaxed as though you were sighing. Go ahead and sigh right now so that you feel the sensation of relaxing everything behind your tongue. Make sure that your notes start with a 2, 2, 2 sound. In order to figure out how to do this on your instrument when it's your turn to play, start your air and let your instrument make a sound. Then simply interrupt that airstream by having the top of the tip of your tongue touch the top of the tip of the reed. This will very suddenly stop the air and interrupt the sound with the sound of the letter T. You will want to use this letter T to start the majority of your notes on the clarinet. Now that you've seen both the correct and incorrect postures, hand techniques, and embouchure, It is time for us to make beautiful sounds on just our mouthpiece.
It's almost time to make your first sounds on this part of the instrument. Now you'll notice the upper joint, the lower joint, and the bell are missing. All we'll need for this is the barrel, mouthpiece, ligature, and reed, all assembled from before. So if you don't have that yet, go ahead and hit pause and take your time. Before we make our first sounds, we need to talk about something called embouchure. Now, embouchure is simply what you need to do with your face to set yourself up for success for your first sounds. The first thing that we need to do with our face is we need to say E so that we stretch our smile to the sides, like E. After that, we're going to take our already existing E and we're going to apply an U to it. Now, it's important as you do that to hold the corners firm so that your E stays in place as you say ew. So go ew. Next, it's important for your teeth, your top teeth, to actually touch the top of the mouthpiece. Where, you might be wondering? If you look at a side profile of your mouthpiece combination, you will see that the reed goes away from the mouthpiece at some parts and touches the mouthpiece at other parts. That line that is formed between where it's touching and not touching is exactly where you want to put your teeth on top. After we put our teeth on top of the mouthpiece, we will need just a little bit of gentle jaw pressure coming upward on the reed to secure it in place. So far, we have E, U, top teeth, and lower jaw. It's very important that we stretch our face muscles down to make a pointy, flat chin. What that's going to do is it's going to allow the reed to vibrate more freely and give us a greater tone overall. Another important aspect is that we have a complete seal all the way around our mouthpiece. So we're going to want to bring that E in so that the mouthpiece, like a drawstring bag, is sealed on all sides. The last thing that we need to think about in terms of embouchure formation is what your tongue is doing behind your teeth. The clarinet is a little bit unusual in that you want your tongue slightly arched so that your air is passing over your tongue in kind of a hissing way. Go ahead and hiss right now. That's how fast you want the air to be coming out of your mouth when it enters the clarinet mouthpiece. So again, ew. Now we're going to make our actual first sounds. We're about to make our first sounds on this contraption. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow into the mouthpiece and I'm going to interrupt the sound with my tongue. So what you're going to hear is hoo, two, 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 two is what you'll hear coming out of my mouthpiece. What this is going to teach you how to do is how to start each note with your tongue, which is something your band director is going to talk about a lot. Ooh, flat chin. So I'm taking the top of the tip of my tongue and touching the top of the tip of the reed to very temporarily interrupt the airstream. So that's why you heard two, 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 two. Now, if you start every note for the rest of your band life with the letter T, it's going to sound a lot more clean and articulate. Give it a try. One thing that you may have already noticed in your very first few notes is that you may have developed just a little bit of muscle soreness in your face. That's because you're not used to saying E and ew and stretching your chin and vibrating a reed in your mouth. And so what you should know is that you should develop these good habits, which might make your muscles a little sore right now, but it's going to turn you into a strong clarinet player in the long run. So I will emphasize again, beautiful clarinet tone is created by a flat, pointy chin and stretched lower lip as you play. You'll have beautiful tones that way. Another aspect that we should talk about is your cheeks. You should have your cheeks touching your teeth, not so much that they're tense, but we definitely don't want them blowing out when you play your notes. Is correct. Is disgusting. So again, just hold your cheeks against your teeth when you play and it'll sound a lot better. Much better. Great. Now that we have a foundation of how we should sound on our mouthpiece portion, that's really going to help us a lot when we play our first notes.